Grandpappy, can we get you to put them props on the set?
Yeah, I'm coming. Little bastards always got me doing all the work. You know, when I said that I just wanted to help out, I didn't mean I wanted to do everything. This is ridiculous. Now, when I was their age, I had 7 jobs. I didn't rely on anybody to do anything for me. They don't even pay me for this. I've been asking for a new pair of slippers for about a year, and all they keep buying me is that cheap black licorice.
Grandpappy, can you hurry up, please?
Testing, 1, 3, 9, 4. All right, little prick. Looks like everything's ready.
Grandpappy, get off set. Let's go.
All right, I'm going right now. All righty.
Grandpappy was slow getting this shit done.
Man, you know what? I talked to him about that too. We're on a tight schedule here. Tight schedule. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Aaron.
Chase.
And we got a doozy for you today. I like that doozy, don't you? Today, guys, we're going to spotlight Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. I know you guys have been waiting for this. We've been waiting for this.
Excited about this one, for sure. This one, love this movie. I feel like we could make at least a 2-hour segment talking about this movie specifically.
Maybe longer.
If not.
Now, I guess one thing that I don't really understand, and I guess I have mixed feelings about Rob Zombie as a director as well. I feel like this is definitely one of his best movies. I did like the remake of Halloween as well.
Yep.
A lot of people didn't like this movie. Everybody wants to compare it to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I get it. Like, I really feel a lot of the things in this movie definitely came from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But at the same time, the characters in this movie, I think, is what makes it great. I mean, you just had a wide variety of characters. Like Captain Spaulding, dude. Like, everybody loves Captain Spaulding, and God rest his soul.
Yep.
Sid Haig, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. He did pass away very recently, and that was a sad day for Hollywood and sad day for horror fans.
Horror completely.
I mean,
100%.
People don't
for
realize
sure.
how many movies that guy was in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was very diverse. Like, this guy was able to do it all.
I mean, he made a great clown, not to spoiler alert, but in the sense of what he dressed up as and the face paint in the movie.
I agree.
I think his, this sounds weird, but his facial structure just gave a good clown look overall. For sure. So I think House of a Thousand Corpses, it was different than I think anything Hollywood had seen, at least to that point. Because you look at it, it was kind of, I mean, maybe not compared to some of the independent, foreign films that I'm not aware of. This one was very sporadic. You didn't know which way the story was going, because let's be honest, man, when you get into the first 10 minutes of the movie,
yeah,
you don't know what direction this movie is going. Like, you have a hint based on what the name of the movie is, obviously.
But even then, like, the name of the movie is you're kind of just like, okay, what does A Thousand Corpses have to do with this movie? And then you get towards the end and you're just like, oh, okay.
Yes.
Now
No, yeah.
sense.
At least it makes full circle, but I'm just saying within the first 10 minutes of the movie, I wasn't confused, but I'm definitely like, where is it going with this? Like, what is going to happen next? Because I truly didn't know.
And it starts out pretty crazy from the get-go.
Oh, yeah.
You're kind of just like, okay, there's going to be some violence in this movie. There's going to be and once again, love it or hate it, I love this movie, man. I love this movie.
I think it's a classic. I really think you have to. Everybody wants to talk about the popular ones. Your Halloweens, if you count Scream, but Scream. Some of these other ones, you have to have the conversation of House of a Thousand Corpses mixed in with those. It's definitely a classic. It definitely ties in, I think, with those, and to me, it's better than some of those in my opinion, but that's just where I would put
I just thought it was very creative, and this was one of Rob Zombie's first movies that he directed in. I just thought he came out of the gate swinging, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of people said, well, House of a Thousand Corpses sucked and Devil's Rejects was way better. I thought they were both very good, and even though I think that they're linked story-wise, I feel like they had two kind of different feels.
No, for sure.
I feel like Devil's Reject was a little more serious, a little more realistic, and this was more Texas Chainsaw Massacre type. But I love that. I loved it.
Is it though? Like, is it really though? If you so, the first part of the movie, the beginning part of the movie, leading up to when they go. Spoiler alert. If you haven't watched the movie by now, go watch the movie. Anyway, before they get to the house, everything up to that point was fine. Even when they were at the house, it was fine.
Okay.
Towards the end of that movie, don't tell me you didn't think that movie took a twist.
Oh, it definitely took a twist.
And something Texas Chainsaw Massacre 100% did not do.
Man, it's going to be really hard to spotlight this movie without doing spoiler alerts on this. But I understand what you're saying. I think when I compare it to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think I'm more relating to you have a psychopathic family who like to basically kidnap people and do whatever they feel like doing to them. In that sense, I mean, they weren't running around with chainsaws. They were a little more creative in the way that they killed people. But I just felt like, and I think this is what Rob Zombie does very well.
Absolutely.
Rob Zombie is older. When you listen to his interviews and stuff like that, he's really big on older movies.
Yes.
A lot of stuff from the 60s, 70s.
100%.
So I think he did a really good job of taking things from different movies and then he used them with the creativity and the characters, because I mean, in my opinion, out of all the horror movies, I think I love the cast of characters in this. They're so diverse.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you talk about Goober from the liquor store, it was like he didn't hold back when it came to just a variety of characters, and I think that's what I liked about it.
That's true. That's true.
And so, some people, once again, when it comes to horror, you can't just compare it to everything.
No,
don't
you
go
can't.
into it looking at they're trying to copy the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or they're trying to copy Psycho, or Friday the 13th. I mean, a slasher is a slasher.
True.
I mean, there's really, at the end of the day, it's somebody running around just cutting people up and killing people.
Right.
And that's a slasher.
But even in that sense, it was different for that time. I think Rob Zombie did a very good job as far as how the movie kind of came together. Even if give or take whether you think it was by accident or if he just got lucky, in the sense of how it just happened to end. The ending is totally crazy, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything, but that ending is by far one of the craziest endings I've ever seen. The first time I saw. I'll come back to what I was talking about, but the first time I saw that ending, definitely one of those where it was like, what just happened?
Yeah,
and then what's more disappointing, no spoiler alert, but in the next movie, it doesn't go on to explain any of that. What happened in the end.
Yeah,
and that is a foul.
Well, yeah. I kind of would have liked to have seen what happened from the end of House of a Thousand Corpses up until the way they chose to begin Devil's Rejects, and nothing against Devil's Rejects. I thought it was great how they started it, but I feel like if Rob Zombie really wanted to do justice to that franchise, referring to House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects, I would really like to see maybe a prequel to House of a Thousand Corpses, how the Firefly family
100%
came about.
Or just Dr. Satan.
Dr. Satan.
I think the origins of Dr. Satan would be, especially with the way movies are made now, special effects, I think the origin of Dr. Satan and how that came to be and how they had the agreement with, because I mean, to me it's kind of an agreement he had with the family, spoiler alert. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, but the downside of that is without having Captain Spaulding, is it going to have that same feel? How many movies have we watched where they try to use different casts, or they have that very crucial character no longer in it, and it just, you feel empty.
It does.
You watch it.
100%.
I was a huge fan of Captain Spaulding. I really, really was. A lot of my friends were, and I really think he was played a major role.
Oh yeah, for sure. He was definitely.
Especially in Devil's Rejects. I mean, he was in House of a Thousand Corpses. He's in the beginning, and then he kind of comes in towards the end.
Yep.
But Devil's Rejects, he was there throughout, and it was amazing. When they did the Three from Hell, Okay, so Three from Hell. I know we're not spotlighting Three from Hell, but I'm just kind of like, what the hell happened with Three from Hell? It just did not have that same feel.
But dude, I think that goes back to House of a Thousand Corpses to me, it did so well. It was a story that was very, to me, it's captivating. It got my attention like from the get-go. It's not a movie that, it doesn't take time to get going. It doesn't take time to like get its story across. You know from the get-go that, man, some stuff's about to go down. Like, you know from like the beginning of the movie, like it's about to get real. Not a lot of movies do that. There's movies that need build up. So I think House of a Thousand Corpses did so well that Three from Hell just, I mean, even the second one, if you even take the second one, Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
Not the greatest movie.
Those are some big shoes to fill, man.
That's what I'm saying. I think literally it's because of how he came out the gate with this series, if you will, of movies that House of a Thousand Corpses did so well. And it was such a great story that I think when you sit down and you try to write a script for what you do next, it comes down to, where do we go from here?
Yeah, and that might explain why it had a different feel. That's why Devil's Rejects had a different feel than House of a Thousand Corpses, and then Three from Hell had a different feel from the two of those. So I think you're onto something with that. Once again, I still think Rob Zombie would be able to do something with this, because there's still so many characters. Like you just said, Dr. Satan alone would be, if you had a movie just about his backstory and how he came about and how he, you know, I was always kind of watching the movie. I was just like, they didn't even really explain that in the movie. Like this. Okay, this is a spoiler alert, but like he's underground in these tunnels with all these zombies everywhere, hence Thousand Corpses, because there's just corpses everywhere. Underground. And I'm just kind of like, how? Like, it's that Dr. Satan's idea. It's like, hey, I'm gonna go underground and I'm just gonna perform experiments on bodies and stuff. And they're just like, okay, you know, every once in a while for Halloween we'll throw some bodies down there for you to experiment on. I mean, how many years did it take to get all those corpses down there if they're only doing it on Halloween night? You know what I mean?
And what's the end game with those experiments? Like, there's maybe it's diving too far into a movie. Maybe.
I think so.
But I have questions as a fan and as somebody that enjoys that movie, especially, I guess, with Dr. Satan. That is my thing I question is, what happened to Dr. Satan, spoiler alert, movie 2 when they left the house?
We're going to need Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie, we're going to need you to go ahead and contact us because we got questions for you.
You know what? That'd be, actually, can we just set up an interview? Let's just go with the interview route because honestly, we can get first-hand account and that would go really great for this channel overall. Plus, the fans would enjoy it. I say fans.
How
followers.
Awesome would that be, bro?
That'd be, oh, man.
We'd have to...
We'd have to rent a studio.
Can we do like an interview / concert, dude? That'd be freaking great. Yeah, so
he probably would. He probably would. No. He probly would. I could see that. Yeah.
My microphone just fell down my shirt.
Shame on you. Shame on you. Put that anywhere.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, though, it definitely won't be the same without Captain Spaulding. Man, Captain Spaulding was awesome.
He was. It's unfortunate. It really is because you have I think a staple for the movie, in my opinion. Someone that was a good connection and someone that was a focal point for that movie where, you know, you have him, he's at that gas station / horror
ride.
Yeah, that.
Selling fried chicken.
Like whatever else they had, and it's just...
And see, that was another thing that was kind of reminded me of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He's selling fried chicken, and then the Texas Chainsaw Massacre had their barbecue.
Oh, okay.
You had
okay.
a gas
I
station.
can see where you're at.
You see what I'm saying?
No, I do.
But at the same time, I didn't feel like, oh, this sucks because they copied Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I didn't feel that at all. Two totally different movies.
No, it is. It's a different like slasher. So, but I think it's a different type of slasher. But like we've discussed in different videos, there's variations of horror out there. There is many different styles of all these styles of horror that it's just not comparable. To me, it's not comparable, but I do see where you relate it because...
Well, I think a lot of people relate it. Not so much me because I'm able to overlook that stuff.
Yeah.
Once again, I mean, if I wasn't able to do that, if we both weren't able to do that, we have no business having a channel.
No, for sure. No, I agree.
Because I mean, once you start having guidelines, boundaries, and now you're just not appreciating the movies.
No.
You're really out of your element at that point.
That's true.
And so, once again, I mean, but a lot of movies do that. How many freaking movies have the backstory of Ed Gein, serial killer who made furniture out of human skin and bones?
God, that's crazy,
and
dude.
I mean, Psycho, that's where they got it from.
I know, dude.
Leatherface was obviously from that. So, and I think I think Hollywood's at a point right now too with horror where they're kind of running out of ideas.
Dude, they're coming out with a new.
Have to.
Wait a minute.
What you got for me?
So, Jeepers Creepers.
Okay.
It's coming back.
I saw that.
I'm amped.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I'm amped.
Me too.
This is a.
The same director?
No.
That could be a problem.
No. I feel like I need to watch a trailer. You're 100% right. So I can't say for sure. The excitement's there because this movie, definitely the first movie scared me the most when I was younger.
Yeah.
This movie really.
You talk about it a lot.
That was a dark place, man.
Yeah.
That was rough for me. But I'm excited. Supposedly the rumor is, I don't have this on a for sure thing. The rumor has been that they are due for 3 more.
3 more. Wow.
So they're coming out with one this year, 2021, and then there's going to be 2 more to follow. So I am very excited.
Speaking of Jeepers Creepers, guys, check out our new little prop that we have here. Okay, so I'm going to be honest, like our first few videos, I really appreciate you guys being patient with us. When we shot those first 3 videos, we kind of had a game plan, but it wasn't really too solid of a game plan. We were just like, hey, let's just start talking. Let's kind of see where it goes. So if you notice, we did have some editing issues, which we're getting it figured out.
Yep.
For those of you who've never done editing, it seems simple, but it can get pretty tricky, especially when you don't really have any pauses. I mean, our conversations, as you know, can go hours.
Forever. We can.
We can.
And sometimes we'll do circles, but every now and then we veer off when we get outside the circle and we just talk about.
Yeah. So now we've had some time to analyze our footage, see, hey, maybe we can do this a little different.
Yep.
And I think the props definitely help liven up the set a little bit.
Yep.
Tell us what you think, honestly.
Tell us what you think about the movie. If you've never ever watched House of a Thousand Corpses, do yourself a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Do us a favor. Please go watch the movie. Let us know what you think.
So good.
Tell us your opinion on what you think, especially if you're a Rob Zombie fan. By any means, please share. We want to hear from you guys because the more we hear from you guys, and you give us a different outside perspective we don't have. That's the kind of things we do this for. So
yeah, and we appreciate all you subscribers.
Absolutely, 100%.
But we were very, very curious to see what you guys think. We have had a couple people reach out to us and express how they feel, and we really need that, guys, because we're getting started out. We're just getting started out. We have no idea where this is going to go. I know there's thousands and thousands of podcasts out there, and so that's why I kind of like when people ask me about what is your channel about. I tell them it's podcast style because we're not gonna only do podcasts.
Yeah.
We're not only. It's not gonna be always me and Chase sitting here. We are gonna try to always spotlight a movie if we can. But once we get out there and we start doing some, I like to use the term on-site experiences because
I think
we're not detectives, dude. We're not investigators. We're not gonna be going to these places with all this equipment, and little EVP, and that's not what we're about. We're going to put ourselves into certain situations, certain environments, and we're just going to see what happens.
We're not bringing science into this. Not to say there's anything wrong with science, but we're just not bringing science into it.
But there's plenty of that online.
Yes, there's plenty. There's plenty of those that have. Sorry.
No.
There's plenty of those that have those pages. They have those social media accounts that are investigators. Props to you guys. We are not that. We were not claiming to be that. We simply are going to go to certain sites and see if things happen.
Right.
If it happens, we're going to catch it on video and we'll post it and share it with you guys. If nothing happens, then you get to hear two guys just randomly chat about who knows what.
You know, and I am a firm believer, to touch on that most people that experience things, not even just paranormal, but just things, just weird experiences in general. You know, people that are seeing these UFOs in the skies, people that witness Sasquatch,
Yep.
they're not looking.
No.
They're literally driving home from work, or they're camping in the woods. You know, and me and Chase, we plan on just, you know, we're gonna go sit down. We are gonna do this experience at Fox Ridge Park very, very soon. I know we kind of got that on our page. We're doing that very soon. Obviously, there's different types of equipment we need for that to go do mobile experiences like that, compared to just sitting here with a stationary camera.
We're trying to make sure when we go out,
Right.
you get a good shot.
We want to make sure we
hear
do it
us,
right.
You get all the,
Right.
you see what you want to see,
Right.
and you get to hear the content that we're putting out.
Right.
It takes time. Anybody that does podcasts, or if you do YouTube channel, you understand that this is not an easy, like, you pick up, you run with it, and all of a sudden you're good. There's bumps in the road. Takes time. Takes money to a certain extent. But it's been a learning experience, at least this past month for sure.
Yeah.
It's been a learning curve.
I feel like we've come a long way. I mean, we have a long way to go.
We have a long way to go. We're by no means where we want to be. At the end of the day, the followers, the subscribers, we want to hear from you guys. We have had people reach out in regards to different things. The haunted, I think it was a haunted railroad or something in San Antonio.
Oh, I've been there.
Was the other? I read a little bit on it, and I haven't done much outside.
Yeah.
Of that. If we ever travel, by the way, 100%, we will go look into it.
I got plenty of family and friends down there. Like, we would, and who knows, like, we would be able to, if we go down there to check that out. Once again, I've actually been to that railroad track.
Yeah.
That's, we'll cover that on a different episode, but there could be, Texas is, and I'm sure Arkansas is the same way. There's all kinds of just creepy, haunted locations all over that state. That's a huge state.
Yeah, that is an episode we will have.
So it'd be interesting to sit down with some of our friends down there, and family and friends, and see what they got for us. So
if you have spots, I really appreciate that input from that follower that gave us that input, because those are the kind of things, that we want to hear, that we want to hear about. Because I had no idea. I mean, that's news to me, and that's why we want to hear about it. Because especially if it's something interesting, or if you've had an experience there before, share the experience, please.
Yeah, I was pretty young when I went, but I do remember the car rolling. I don't remember we did the baby powder. So okay, you know what? We might as well touch on it. So supposedly there's a railroad track there in San Antonio where, if you park on the railroad track, I forget what the exact things you have to do. I think you have to turn your car off. You have to turn the lights off or something. You have to sit on this railroad track, and you sprinkle some sort of flour or baby powder on your back bumper. And then you sit there, and then eventually your car will be pushed off the railroad track. And then if you go back, you'll see tiny handprints on the bumper, because the story goes that there was a school bus that got stranded on that railroad.
I did hear this story.
And a train hit it, and everybody died. So the kids are pushing you out. But if I remember correctly, they did an investigation, and the railroad track is actually on a slope. So your car does roll off the railroad track, but it's because of the slope.
Because of your slope. Yeah.
So, not saying that it's not true, because once again, who are we to say that it's not true?
We're not investigators.
People supposedly do say that they see the fingerprints on their bumper.
Till we try, we don't know.
Yeah.
Till we try, we just don't know, man.
I'm afraid, like, if you go in a car that's pretty small, like, could you imagine, like, showing up in, like, a smart car, and the next thing you know, you're like, you freaking, it throws you off the road, and you, like, flip over in the bar ditch and stuff. You're like, man, I should have brought a bigger car, this damn smart car.
No offense to people that drive smart cars.
Where do they come up with smart car? What is smart about that car? With the exception of, like, the fuel economy, you go to the grocery store, you can buy a loaf of bread, a gallon of milk. That's it. That's all you got room for, dude.
I apologize for my partner in crime.
Yeah.
Anybody that drives a smart car, you drive your smart car. Okay?
I drive smart cars at my job. I don't understand them.
Don't let my partner in crime convince you.
Yeah, sorry if I offended you guys, but To me, it's like the only thing they would be really good for is back and forth to work. Like that's it. Or if you travel.
That's what any car's good for, though, if you think about it.
Well, I mean, what are you gonna do with your bags? Like, I would not feel safe on the freeway in one of those. First of all, I don't even feel safe in a valeting a smart car.
Bro, I don't feel safe.
I feel like if it's windy, it's just gonna blow me, like on the other side of the road. I mean, through a window.
Right, where are we going?
Man, we're all over the place again.
You're talking about cars. This is about.
Check out House of a Thousand Corpses, guys. It's a great movie.
Awful.
That's what we do, bro. That's what we do.
We were about to get on a vehicle tangent, and I had to bring us back.
Yeah.
Like we can't.
Sometimes you just got to slap me, dude. Just be like,
we can't.
Aaron, what are you doing?
Now, if you were telling me a scary story about something,
That is scary, though.
No, it's not.
Blowing off the road because it's windy in a smart car could be scary if you're driving a smart car.
Do you drive a smart car?
At my job.
Do you drive it on the main
I
highway?
refuse to park smart cars when it's windy at work.
In the garage?
I wonder if that would fly with my boss. Be like, I can't park that car, sir.
Sorry, I have a waiver. I can't drive. Can't do this.
Man, so anyways.
Yeah, way off topic. Anyway, so Fox Ridge Park, it's happening very soon. We are very excited about this shoot.
Yes, we are.
It is something we have talked about even before we started this channel, before we started this podcast.
And we've been there.
We have been there. There was some weird incidents that happened while we were there.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying it was anything paranormal, not
Right.
saying it was anything, but so just kind of highlight some of those. The cold area that we walked into,
Mm-hmm.
that one I can't explain. That one I really I don't understand.
Yeah.
How, because it was significantly colder, like significantly colder.
You know what, though? That was not in the middle of summertime. Now that it's 115 degrees here, it'll be curious. I'm curious to see how that would feel now.
Dude, me and you were in t-shirts. It wasn't cold outside that night.
No. But it wasn't hot.
It wasn't hot, but it wasn't cold.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Dude, it was chilly when we got in there.
You gotta think if we go here in the next couple of weeks. Okay, so for those of you that don't know how hot Las Vegas gets, the last few days have been 115. You know, it got up to 117. Man, it's just
hell.
There's people that say it's hot, you know, when it's 101, and we're like, okay, that's hot. And other people are like, oh, well, you guys have that dry heat. Let me tell you right now, 115 degrees, I don't care who you are, freaking sucks. It freaking sucks. It's hot. You don't even want to go outside. So
You feel like you're baking.
at midnight,
Yep.
it's still freaking 95 to 100 degrees outside, and that's not exaggerating.
Last night, prime example.
We're gonna
Midnight,
need
It was
a-
102. That's the sun down. The sun went down at 7:45 that night. So you do the math, and it was still 102.
Yeah, so it's hot here.
Yeah. Anyway,
We're gonna need a lot of beer.
why are we talking about the weather? I am
We're
sorry.
talking about the weather
guys.
because it's going to be related to our trip to Fox Ridge Park. very
Okay,
soon.
yeah, so even more weird. So if it's cold this time, guarantee you're gonna see me run.
We could get kicked out of the park because I like we're gonna have like a big ice chest of beer and like who knows, maybe we got a little fan, like a little battery operated
Dude,
fan.
we should do
Police are
one of
gonna
those
just be like,
fans, man.
I have one actually. We might take that.
Dude,
Might be pretty cool.
my portable. Anyway, not important.
What are we talking about fans for? Speaking of fans, we appreciate you guys. If any of you are our fans,
You guys are the bee's knees.
the bee's knees.
I'm gonna hurt myself for that later. It's cool.
We're not editing that out for the record.
Not at all.
Okay, so check out our mugs, guys. Props to my niece Emmeline. She's man, she's hooking us up with some merchandise here, guys.
It's my wife.
I mean, it's his wife.
My wife.
Some of you guys are probably sitting here like, why do they have so much merchandise? Like they got literally.
It's literally because
4
of our wives.
videos.
It's our wives. Our wives
But that's the
live
support
it.
we have,
No,
bro.
100%.
Thank God for the support that
Shout
we have.
out to everybody that has
Absolutely.
supported all the way up to this point.
Yep. My son does the editing.
Aiden, shout out for sure, because you have made this happen. Without you, videos would not be on YouTube
sure.
for you guys.
Okay, we're on?
Yeah.
Okay, we
so
just-
anyway, we appreciate you guys. Stay tuned. We got more content coming your way. We have more spotlighted films coming your way. Fox Ridge Park. I'll get my life together.
Slow down, buddy.
Right around the corner.
Very soon.
Can't wait to film it. Hopefully we get something cool. Hopefully, a little swing goes back and forth. I'm not trying to die, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But good content for you guys. We're excited. We appreciate the support again.
Yeah, for sure.
It means the world It really, really does. Because without the support, without you guys giving us feedback, we would not be sitting right here still doing this.
That's right. That's right. I mean, we do enjoy it though. I really, really enjoy it. But at the same time, we probably wouldn't be. At least we probably wouldn't be posting videos.
I just hate to read.
You do hate to read.
Reading's stupid. That and scorpions.
You and scorpions.
Scorpion.
I hate spiders, so. All right, guys. Anyways, we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.
Take care, guys. Nightmare Talks. We out.
Bye.